you can see from your live shot right now, wreckers and cranes from Cloverleaf Towing are in there pulling the wreckage apart. I've had two coroners say it doesn't look good, John. So we don't know. I have opened up a temporary morgue. Just we're erring on the side of caution at the Lakeview Funeral Home in Kingsbury, where I can store up to 15 to 20 bodies if needed. I don't think we're going to have that amount, but we're just being precautionary right now. And I've had other counties' coroners offer to help me. Jasper County is on standby. Porter County, they're still putting out calls for ambulances. Buses are being dispatched to the scene right now. Just a minute ago, they were filling up another bus with walking wounded. So it's still an active scene. Just very, very methodically going through each vehicle, and each wrecker is pulling apart those trucks as you to see what they can find underneath.
John, this is Ron and Cheryl. We now join you here at the 5 o'clock hour. We're noticing that the sun is starting to set at this crash site, and you talked about the difficulties of the ice on the road. Are you planning on bringing in lights to light up the area so you can methodically go from truck and car to car to see if there's any more?
I only have 6 minutes left.
To bring in light towers, temporary light towers, and that'll be brought in from our emergency management agency, hazmat, the fire department light towers. They'll have to light up that entire scene like daylight, so they'll need massive light towers to work and to cut and to get these semis apart. So yeah, you'll see with our daylight breaking, or with it going right now, you'll see those light towers being brought into place right now. They're working as fast as they can. Our coroners on the scene say it is a very grim scene right now. So hopes of finding people right now that are in there is, the clock is working against us is what I'm trying to say. So it's not looking real good, unfortunately.
But John, at this moment you have only 2 confirmed fatalities, is that correct?
2 confirmed fatalities. Many vehicles to go through yet there. As you can see, the behind the wrecker, the one in the center, I think there's a vehicle under that one. They're trying to get that truck off that one. It's just, that's why we opened the temporary morgue, just in case we do have some more, and we'll put all the bodies in one central facility. That'll be a lot easier to process and get things going. Again, I really hope we only have 2, but it's looking pretty grim right now.
John, we're all hoping, but from listening to the scanners that you're listening to and from the telephone communications you've had, can you give us some idea of the serious to critically injured for whom we are now hearing requests for medevacs to other cities? Do we know if there's a significant number of those?
I believe probably right now of the critical patients, I'm going to say probably around 10, and that's like with long bone fractures, chest trauma, some were bleeding heavy, I heard on the hospital radio reports. So I'm going to say at that number, let's limit it at that right now, and those maybe have to airlift it out to facilities such as University of Chicago, if they're pediatric patients, Comers and Lurie Hospital, hospitals in our state, Riley Children's Hospital, South Bend Memorial, they'll get them all to trauma centers. I'm trying to update you on the number of critical patients right now from what I'm hearing.
John, have you heard there are children? You spoke about the Children's Hospital. Have you heard that there have been some children injured in this crash?
No, I have not heard of any children. We don't really know of any ages yet, but I-94 is a very heavily traveled road with not only trucks, but minivans, SUVs. You've always got that possibility, so we always put those hospitals on alert just in case, and I know they'll bring surgeons in, have OR ready. That's why they're trauma centers. They're ready for this kind of stuff, just in case they would be needed. So.
And John, you keep talking about the word grim, and when emergency responders say that word, it's very different from the average person looking at the scene. When the emergency responders use the word grim over and over again, and you have set up a response that's very large now. More communities have joined in the effort. You've added helicopters, more ambulances to the scene, more extrications that are taking place. Also, hypothermia could be setting in. We're passing 2 hours at this point.
Yes, and as you know, as the clock ticks, when you're critically injured, your chances for survival will greatly diminish. So, the word grim right now, I'm afraid, is correct for the scene. They're doing the best they can, but I'm afraid from looking at it right now, if those cars are pinned under those semis, the chances for survival survival are, I would say, very slim.
Was that a visual that they were saying when you said that they went methodically from each vehicle to each vehicle?
Yes.
Were they able to look inside, even though they can't
visually
get to
checking
the...
every truck. I can see them crawling in and out of the cabs of the truck. They're crawling on the ground, trying to get that diesel fuel contained. There's Hearst Tools, Jaws of Life working right now. They're bringing in more light towers right now, so they're working as quickly as they can. It's just such a large-scale accident that they cannot find all the people right away.
John, you have a state of emergency. You have an emergency declaration that does bring in help from other counties.
Yes, I have mutual aid agreements with all my surrounding
1
counties.
minute left.
Counties, coroners, and EMS and fire help each other in time of need. I have helped other counties, and by golly,
Oh my God.
there's plenty of help always offers to come help me, and that's very, very kind of those other counties' coroners' offices. It's very much appreciated because it does overwhelm the local. It taxes the local system very much when you have this many patients and people to take care of. It's a big undertaking.
John, if you can hang on for a second, I hope you'll be able to hear this. We have James Callahan on the line from Franciscan St. Anthony in Michigan City, and perhaps we can clear up some of the numbers now. Mr. Callahan, you're able to hear us now?
I can, thank you.
Can you tell us what the circumstances are at Franciscan St. Anthony?
Well, from this multi-vehicle pileup, we've received 3 patients in critical condition and 4 others not in critical condition. We expect others, of course, and we're caring for them now. We've called in additional staff, additional physicians. So that's our situation.
What are the injuries that you've been seeing coming to the hospital there, and what have the walking wounded told you what happened here?
I don't have specific information on that. We can usually expect blunt force injuries that include orthopedic injuries and chest and head trauma. Then the other people who can talk, we just know that the roads were slick and that lots of vehicles were affected, and they're being treated.
James, do you know if other critical injuries have been taken by other centers?